Hey guys, it's Viejo here. It is the last week of November, almost the last days of November. Only got a couple days left here. Cool start here on the central coast of California. It was in the low 50s when I got out here in the garage earlier. I had another little project to get done. But today we're going to do a little bit of casting. Now, I'm not going to show you any of the actual casting either here or on Rumble. That's not what this one's going to be about. I will show you about the molds that we're going to use. But one of our friends over on 76highboy.com's forum, NM Mike, that's New Mexico Mike, from, strangely enough, New Mexico, commented on one of CW Longshot's videos. He goes, hey, you know, we never see much about sizing bullets after the powder coating is all done. And he said, well, maybe either CW or Walter could do a video that showed a little bit more about the sizing of the bullets. And so that's what I'm going to do with this one. And the sizing's not a big deal, but if you've never seen it, then it's worth having a look, particularly if you're a new caster. Now we're going to be talking about sizing powder-coated bullets, not traditionally lubricizing, as we've talked about before. So we'll cast the bullets. I'll show you what the molds look like, show you what the resulting bullets look like. We'll get them powder coated. Then I'll talk to you a little bit about the sizing process. It's real simple. So let's come down here and look at these molds. First up is this little guy right here. This is the Lyman 429-360. Okay, this is a 44 caliber bullet. Okay, this was one of the molds that I featured on my tips for buying used molds the other day. And it's a very nice mold. There's what the cavities look like. Okay, nice big flat me-plat. Okay, really kind of a neat bullet. All right. So there's what that mold looks like. Okay, you can see I've done a little work on the sprue plate there. Okay. And then this one, this is an MP mold from Slovenia. A very nicely crafted brass mold. Okay, it has multiple options on what kind of pins you can use in it for a hollow point or solid points. So the model number here is the MP 9/3847. Okay, 4 cavity mold. Let me turn it around here so you can see the pins that are in there. Come out here. There you go. So we're going to do 2 cavities with flat noses and 2 with hollow points. All right. And even though I worked on my sprue plate on this one, you can see I've got a little swipe there already. I guess I didn't get, it's probably this point right there. I didn't get it good enough, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so this would be the maiden voyage for this mold. And I've just got Lee handles on there. Okay, they fit fine. Miha over there at MP Molds designs his molds specifically to be used with these Lee handles. So they're cool molds. They run well. I think that this one is going to run okay at the same temperature as that Lyman mold. We're going to find out. I have other MP molds and they run well in that 670 to 700 degree range. All right, I'm going to get these guys heated up on the hot plate, and I'll come back to you when the casting's done, show you what they look like. There's the Lyman mold. Okay, nice big wide flat me-plat. And this is a mold that I bought used. Okay, it throws pretty good bullets, as you can see. Not perfect, but not bad. And I got a decent pile of them here. And the MP mold, then I threw 2 cavities with a flat point And you can see there is a little bit of a mark there left by the pin. And then I threw 2 cavities with that nice deep hollow point. And they all came out really good, no bent rims or anything. I had a number of calls right at the beginning with that mold, but after we got it warmed up, figured out the temperature she was going to run at ran great. It did not want to run at the same temperature as my Lyman mold. I had to stop running this one, finish out what I was going to do with the Lyman, and then come back and jack up the temperature. These guys I ran at 670 on the pot, ran good right there. This one I had to get clear up to about 740. All 4 cavities on the MP mold dropped right at 358 as far as diameters go. The solid points weighed in at 153 grains, while the hollow points came in at 146 grains at the look. And the Lyman bullets over here measured out at 432 on each cavity. That's right where they've measured out before. And they weigh about 228 grains or so, 228, 229, somewhere in there. All right, the flat points there, that's a powder coat that we call Seasick, 50/50 Eastwood Midnight Green Metallic and Sea Blue. And the hollow points over here are going to be Ruby Red. We got a couple of strays that got into the solid points there. That's all right. All right, we did a few of these Lyman 429 360s. About a 225 grain, nice big wide me-plat bullet for 44 caliber, and that is Eastwood Squirrel Gray, getting ready to go in the oven right now. Here are the bullets all out of the oven, dried, ready to be sized. Okay, that's the Lyman 429 360 in Squirrel Gray. And then over here we have all of these MP mold bullets. The red ones are the hollow points, and the Seasick ones, those are the solid points. Mostly, you saw I had a couple of Mavericks in there, but that's all right. All right, let's get them sized. Okay, folks, so it is in fact the next day. Let's get a little bit of light on here, and we're going to size these bullets today. For the MP 147 grain 357 bullets, we're going to use the old style Lee push-through die. All right, and this one I have set up with a breech lock bushing because the press I'm going to use them on is a breech lock press from Lee. Without that bushing on there, you can use those on any standard press that has 7/8 by 14 threads in it. This die, we push the bullets up from the bottom up, right, with a push rod that comes with the die set. And then for the Lyman 429 360 bullets, we're going to use the newer style Lee bushing that is designed for sizing on the Lee app or APP press. Okay, it also comes with its own push rod, and in order to use it, you have to get this separate little kit that consists of 2 pieces, and here in a minute I'll show you how those go together. But basically our sizing bushing goes inside this larger bushing, and this piece here screws down on top. In both cases, these push rods simply slide into the shell holder clip on your ram. Okay, or in the case of the app press, there's a separate kind of a receiver part that this fits into, but it's the same location that a shell holder would fit on that press also. Okay, so let's get after this. We're going to do these on the little Lee reloader press, and these guys we're going to do on the Lee app. And since I have a breech lock bushing on here, this die just drops down in there very easily. Okay, locks into place. But without that breech lock, our threads there are 7/8 by 14, so you can just thread this into any standard reloading press. Okay, it'll work fine, as long as you have 7/8 by 14 threads in it. And then our push rod just fits in here in the shell holder slot of your press ram like that. It snaps in just like a shell holder would. And then this little catch container that Lee provides with the older style die, sizing die, fits right over the top of it. Just come in here and feed these guys in here one at a time like this. Each subsequent bullet finishes pushing the other one out. If they're really oversized and stiff in there, then your hollow points may get deformed doing this. Okay. So you can see them coming out the top here. Also, if your bullets are, quite a bit fatter than what you need them, and you're struggling to push these through, you can run a little bit of lubricant on the outside of the bullets, something like Hornady One Shot. Just a light spritz will help those go through there. Okay, when we get this thing full, when we're done with our run, when you go to remove this hopper here, you got to support the bottom edge of this, otherwise you pull this off. If this is full above the halfway mark here, then bullets are going to spill all over the floor. The other thing you've got to do is be ready to kind of plug this hole right here with your finger, because there's going to be a bullet right there. Okay, so you turn that over, and then you're pretty safe to separate these if you want. There's going to be a couple more bullets in here at the end of your run, and you can just dump those out. It should be clear through there, and if it's not, if you got one stuck in there, you can take a piece of dowel rod and push it out the other way. All right, these are our parts then to size bullets on the Lee app or APP press. Here's our sizing bushing, and this is at 430. That's the size that I want for this particular application. And we get a push rod also. All right, so we have a special Lee bushing here that fits into that press. It looks like a regular Lee breech lock bushing, but it's not. It's a special one. It has a little rim down in here to retain our sizing die. So the sizing die goes in there, roll mark first, like that, and you can see that it's retained. Then this piece that Lee calls the bottle adapter screws into the top, and if you can hear it, our die is rattling in there. We don't want that. We tighten this down until that doesn't rattle anymore, or at least very little, okay, when we shake it. Okay, then we have our top part here that has a shell holder fitting in the end, and our push rod goes into that. Then these two pieces go over to the press. So on the press, our push rod goes into the upper receiver here, and our sizing die goes die up into the lower receiver. And again, those are breech locks, so they just twist in. The top part of this is chamfered to allow the bullets to feed easily, and you'll notice that I have the spring and shuttle removed. Lee supplies a catch bottle that fits up underneath here like this. Problem with it is it doesn't hold very many, and it gets heavy real fast, and the threads on this, that's just plastic. So what I do, I made a couple of brackets here, okay, that just affixed to my top there, okay, and I have a simple cardboard box in there that's going to catch the bullets as they drop down out of the press. One can use the feed tube system with bullet sizing, but what we find is that once filled with bullets, these tubes are really heavy and they flop all over the place. Not only that, but the collator top up here doesn't work to get bullets all pointed in the same direction. Unless you're using double-ended wad cutters, that collator up there is kind of useless for filling our tubes with bullets. So that the bottom line is then that the bullets have to be fed into the tube single-handedly. Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well just drop them right into here by hand. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to drop these nose first into the press like that. Give it a nice pull. Okay, and down they go. Very, very easily. The worst thing that can happen here is this. Okay, that's not fun. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, so get your fingers out of there. like I said, you know, if you're going to try to use the tubular magazines up here, you still got to feed those bullets into those tubes one at a time. You might as well feed them one at a time here, otherwise you're doing double duty. All right, I'm going to finish the rest of these. We'll come back. That's it then. I've got these all sized up. They're ready to go. If I have just a few bullets to do, I'm going to do them on the little Lee reloader press. Okay, it's simple and easy. If I've got a larger number, if I'm going to do more than 50, then I'm going to set up the Lee APP and do them on there. It's much faster. And I've got a good collection system, as you saw. It works really well for me that way. And truth be told, it is much simpler to drop these bullets nose first and pull down on the press and push those things through kind of upside down, as opposed to shoving the bullets upwards. Old style Lee dies still work. They can be used on the Lee app if you have the old style sizing dies from Lee and you want to get an app press. You don't have to go out and buy all new sizing dies. They'll work. That's it. That's how I get it done with the powder coated bullets. For now, that's all she wrote.